Hi everybody, hope all of you are doing great. Today I would like to discuss, I think, a very important topic when it comes to breeding, and that is, would you like to have more eggs in your bird room, or would you like to have more babies? Now you must be thinking like what this guy is talking about, but basically the point is not every egg laid by a hen in your bird room will convert into a fully fledged baby who can eat by himself and can turn into potentially a good bird in future. So what I'm talking about is the way I look at it. When the hens they lay eggs, that is only, I think, you have succeeded, I think, only 5% when it comes to breeding. The rest just starts after that. There are a lot of issues that can come in between: hens not sitting on the eggs properly, then eggs not being fertile, then the male bird doing something in a in a breeding cage or messing up with the eggs, all these kind of things. But one of the most important thing is that when the chicks are hatched, and if you're taking good care of your birds and they are from a good pedigree, hopefully they are feeding the chicks well and everything. The most important time, in my opinion, when it comes to breeding is the time of the chicks when they are between 3 to 4 weeks old. So that is the time when the parents, when the hen's body starts changing again and starts going into that egg laying phase again. Unfortunately, the modern budgicas, because of their size and the feathers on them, they take quite a bit longer compared to the regular wild type budgies. I never bred a regular small budgie, so I'm not quite sure about the timing, but I think in 4 weeks time, between 3 to 4 weeks time, the chicks, they get independent. In exhibition budgies, sometimes they can take up to 6+ weeks to become independent. And the problem is, when the hens start laying again, she wants chicks to be out of the nest box as soon as possible. And the male, they go into that their own breeding cycle. They want to mate, they want to fertile the next generation of the eggs. So it's a very kind of a crucial time for your chicks. Will they be able to eat by themselves? Will they be able to survive the attack if the parents attack them? Because when the hen has started laying the next batch, she doesn't want or most of the hens, it's 80% of the hens, they don't want the older chicks in the next box, and not even in the vicinity of a nest box, not in the breeding cage. Then what happens, most likely, we put these chick hides, as you can see in there, and the people who breed budgiga, they know that doesn't matter how many times you clean it, when the chicks are out, they get dirty all the time. So the main point is, we put these chick hides in there. We want chicks to go inside, hide themselves from the attack, and if we are lucky, male, every now and then he will feed the chicks, and by that time the chicks, they will start eating by themselves. So it's a big risk we take. I did this for 3-4 years, and you're not going to believe me, I lost 25 to 30% of my chicks by the time the hens are started laying. And because obviously we are giving them a top quality diet. So if your birds are on a good diet, I can guarantee you, hens, they will come on laying again within 4 weeks after the first chicks has hatched. So I have lost a lot of chicks. So now what I do, I'm going to explain to you a little bit. Now, every breeder might have a different experience depending on their bird psychology, how the birds behave. Sometimes the birds, I've seen the bird rooms where the birds are, they don't attack the chicks at all, and they are fine with the chicks on a cage floor. male is feeding them and the hen is laying and it's all completely good. In my bird room, unfortunately, this is not the case. I don't know if it's the bloodline or if it is the feed diet I give them, whatever, but they, as you can see, they always, the males are bouncing, they just want to mate, and it makes life very difficult for them. Even if I bring the camera close, they will come close to the camera and start attacking the camera. They don't want anybody near the nest box when the hen is laying. So what I do basically, I remove one of the partner of the breeding pair from the nest box. So most of the time it's the hens I take out, but if I know the male is too big or the male is finding it difficult to feed the chicks. By the way, before I go a bit further down, let me make clear that I do not have foster pairing. I don't use foster pairs. All my birds, I want them to breed by themselves, raise the chicks by themselves, and that's why I get a very good fertility. The hatching rate in my bird room is excellent. On average, I take from 3 rounds, I take anywhere from 12 to 16 chicks per pair on average. That's the average in my bird room. So I want the main pairs to do everything by themselves. So the way I do it, now this pair, I'll give you an example. I think it has 5 chicks hatched and maybe a 6th one as well. And because I don't use any foster pairs, so let's see. So this has, I think, 5 chicks. Yeah, it's the one underneath. 5 chicks and 1 egg is still fertile. So after 2 weeks, I will start helping the pair by hand feeding the chicks once or twice a day, and then they can obviously give their own feed, and you see the millet sprays on the floor or whatever, God knows. A lot of food they need when the chicks are out. So the way I do it, now this male, if you see, there is no hen. So this is not their baby, but you can see no hen. This is a baby, it's a baby hen, and there are 2 males on the floor. Now the problem with the hen was she was quite kind of, we'll say, not very aggressive towards the chicks, but the male was. And I've started noticing whenever the male was, the first sign of it, whenever you open a nest box and any one of the parent is sitting here and looking through the way our fingers are looking through the nest box, and the chick come close to the nest box while you have opened the lid, they will peck on the chick or they will try to attack the chick. That is the first sign that this is a time that you need to move out one of the birds from a breeding pair, because they will start attacking the chicks. Now the reason I have left this male in, because he was younger than male. This is his first round. He was more energetic, and the hen was an older hen, and I knew that because the couple of chicks are quite big in this clutch, and I knew that they will not be ready before 6 weeks. So I wanted a bird that is energetic and can rear the chicks properly, and I didn't want to rely on hen, because when you leave the hen in the nest box and take the male out, then it's a slight different strategy that the slight different things I do in the nest box or with the nest box or in a breeding cage. I'll tell you that as well a bit later on in the video. But the main thing is that's the reason I left the male, because I know that he's energetic, he's a young bird, he can feed the chicks as long as they want, as long as they're not ready. But the good thing is, mashallah, as you can see, alhamdulillah, they started eating by themselves. Both of them, the resuscified. The grey is not from this pair, that is from another pair. They had 3 chicks of their own, so I have taken one out, which is this one. This one I have taken out. So there are a few chicks that I have already separated, but that's for another video. So I left him in. He's feeding the chicks. The chicks are happy. They're not scared. They're not going into the hide, and they have started eating by themselves as well. Another thing I've noticed, that when the chicks are scared, they're finding it even difficult. The stress makes them even kind of difficult for them to go into the feeding thing, because they have to the way they're going to do it, they're going to try different type of seeds. There's a seed mix there, millet sprays there, then I'll add an extra bit of Japanese millet. So they'll try all different type of seeds, and they will go only for those ones which they think that they like it, or they can eat easily, they can peel off easily and can eat the seed easily. So that's the first scenario. I've taken out the hen, and what I do with those hens, it depends. If you want to breed that hen again, and you want to have more chicks from her, then what I normally do, I move her into a separate cage, and I give her a couple of days alone in that breeding cage with the nest box on, and as she gets familiar with the nest box, I give her the male. This is not pairing first time. This is for the hens which I have taken out from a breeding cage, which has the partner, the hen which had a partner, had a chick. So I took her out and I move her in a separate cage. And then when she gets familiar with the breeding cage, because she's already going through that breeding cycle, whichever male you put with the hen, she straight away gets bonded and start laying. So that's one procedure when you want to leave the male inside. So what if you don't want to leave a male inside? Here's another example. So here it's only a hen and there are 2 babies. The reason I left the hens, because the hens, the body has already been stressed out from laying and then incubating the eggs, and then obviously the crop milk and everything. Hens work is more demanding when it comes to the rearing the chicks. So if you're leaving the hen, make sure you don't leave more than 2 or 3 chicks with her, because she won't be able to feed them properly. So now if you see, you've got one baby down there, and she has actually bred quite a few for me, but check this one, the quality of the baby. So even though he can't fly, he can't sit on a perch, but she occasionally feeds him, and he has started eating by himself as well. So when I leave the hen out, one of the most important thing is you have to take off the nest box. If you leave the nest box on there, it's the same thing regardless if you have taken male out or not from the breeding cage when it comes to the hen rearing the babies. What she will do, she will go into, regardless even if there is no male, she will go into the breeding mode and she will start laying. And when she starts laying, she will not care about the babies anymore. They can stay on the floor, they can die, whatever. She will not leave the eggs alone and come and feeding the chicks. For her, that time the eggs will be more important, and she will be paying all the attention to incubating the eggs. Main problem starts when the chicks get hungry, they can't eat by themselves. What they do, they try to go into the nest box to follow the hen. So they follow the hen in the nest box, and then most of the hens, they get irritated. They may bear them 1 or 2 days, but when they see that the babies, they're making the eggs dirty or whatever, they will start attacking them. So very important, when you are taking the male out and you're leaving the hen to rear the chicks, take the nest box off. Now, what this will do, this will most likely take hen out of condition. Now, as you can see, she's feeding, that's her daughter or son. I haven't checked this as male or female. So what you need to do if you want to breed that hen again, the important thing is here that you do not move her into a different cage. When she's done with the babies, you need to leave the hen in the same cage. Don't think that you have a fertile male in some other cage and he's ready to breed, and you're going to take the hen out from here, will give the hen to that other male and she'll be okay. No, you leave the hen here. Do not introduce a new male straight away after taking the babies out. When the babies, they will start eating. Do not put the male straight in. Most likely she will attack the male, and if you're not paying attention, she might kill the male as well. What you need to do, you need to put the nest box there, and you need to leave her for a couple of days. You need to, and if possible, use her own nest box, which she has used before. Do not put the new nest box there. Use, and I sometimes don't even throw the wood chips away when I take the nest box off. and I want the hen to rear the chicks. I put the nest box with the same wood chips in, leave there for a couple of days. Once she starts going in, she starts getting familiar. Obviously, the smell in the nest boxes she's familiar with and everything. Then you clean the nest box. Then you give another day to her. And on a third day, I introduce the male. And 9 out of 10 times, they get bonded straight away. Straight away. Within 5 minutes, you'll see them mating and whatever. So this is the thing I do. In my opinion, it is a bit more kind of how shall I say it? It's more demanding from your side. You need to pay attention. You need to see the birds before the lights going off. And sometimes for me, it gets very difficult because of the work schedule. You need to pay attention. You need to check if the male or female which you have left with the chicks, are they feeding them? So every day. It's not that if you check them last night, they're going to be there. You can't be sure if they've done it, if they've done it today as well or not. So supplement them with a bit of a hand rearing formula. Help the I'll call them single parents. Help the single parents to overcome the stress of feeding all the chicks just by themselves, and keep an eye on the babies. You need to keep an eye on the babies. And the last thing is, I can understand you will lose if your breeding season, you breed for 6 months, and instead of finishing that 3 rounds in 6 months, it might stretch you another month or month and a half, because obviously you are leaving one parent in a nest box in the breeding cage, and then they are taking a couple of weeks extra, and then you're going to introduce the partner back again, or different partner, and it's going to take another week for them to adjust and then start laying. But it does worth it. What's the point of having new eggs in the nest boxes every 2 months, but at the end of the day, the babies which are hatching, they're not surviving? You are breeding, you are getting eggs. Obviously, you're not boiling these eggs and eating them. They're not chickens. You are having eggs. You want the eggs in the nest boxes because you want these eggs to turn into babies. And at the end of the day, you want a fully fledged babies eating by themselves, independent, and going into your flights. So that's how I do it. Please do let me know in the comments how you guys do it, and the things you do that can help others who are subscribed to this channel or watch these videos, or can help me as well. The extra things you do, or the things you might think that I should be doing and can help me to get more chicks. So that's it for today, and as always, like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye bye.